Okay, YouTube, everybody, we're going to do fuel lines on a Toro powervac t25. Any of the stuff that I use will be in the description below. All right, let's get into it. First, we're going to take the air filter off. All right, and then we're going to take these off. I think they're T25s. They might be T27s. We're going to take those two off. Okay, we got this part where we can kind of get to it. So we got a return line, this in the back, and then the filter line right here. So we're going to just pull these out. Okay, so the line in the very back goes to the suction. So that's going to go, we're going to go ahead and replace that one first. Okay, so this goes on that barb, and then it goes to the short barb on the primer ball. If I can get in here. Stupid. On the primer ball, the short barb is suction. This primer ball is good, but if you have to replace it, you just grab it with a pair of pliers and rip it out, and then click a new primer ball in there. All these lines are probably good. They're just hard and out of shape, so I'm just putting brand new on. That's why. All right, so yeah, we're gonna click this to the short barb on the primer ball. Now the long barb on the primer ball is gonna go into the back hole on the gas tank, and that's your return line. We're gonna cut the fuel line into a point, dip it in a little bit of oil. You can use motor oil, 2-cycle oil, vegetable oil, any kind of oil. Just make sure it's lube. And we're gonna stick it in the back hole of the gas tank. We'll get a pair of needle nose and try to shove that in as far as possible. Well, once you've gotten it shoved in a little bit, reach back in there with a needle nose again and just pull it down just a little bit so you know that it's in the tank. That's your return line. Now you're going to cut it to length, right, probably around there, and then stab it onto the big barb for return. Now we've got the return line hooked up. We're going to go ahead and hook this throttle back up, and we're going to get this bolted back down. Alright, so I didn't tighten it down, I just got the bolts in place so that it's out of my way. Now I'm going to put another fuel line in this closer hole. Once again, cut it to a point, dip it in some oil, spray oil, whatever oil, and then get it started in the tank. And then you're going to push it down a little bit with your needle nose and then grab it again and pull it out of the tank. Once you've pulled it through, cut the tip off. Now we're going to dip our barb for our new filter in the oil, and then we're going to force that into the hose. Now you've gotten the filter onto the end, shove it back into the tank. And then you're trying to get it into the bottom, so I've got too much line here. I'm going to pull this up until that filter is just in the very bottom of that tank, right there. Okay, just like that. I got the filter laying in the bottom, and now I'm going to cut this off. This is the intake of your carburetor. I'm going to cut this off and stab it onto that. Again, a dab of oil will help get that in if it's a little tight for you. And they're nice. Now we're going to tighten these two T25s up. Alright, and then put the air filter back on. Put gas in it, and you're done. Alright guys. Again, anything that you might need in for this job, it'll be in the description. You can find them super cheap on Amazon. I'll have a whole kit with carburetor, primer ball, fuel lines, filters, everything you could possibly need. If this helped you in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Show me a little love. Here's today's t-shirt. Hope you can see it. Peace.